It's cool. You stole my mace. You told me come back there and get it because you like that little case, and it was cute, wasn't it? I know. That's why you stole it. Oh, you stole my mace.
Shout out to the lady at the Dell. But
don't make me run up to the patty show.
You know,
oh, shit.
You know we gotta start the show. The way we start the show, we gotta make sure we clear our minds and hearts. Get a little meditation in it. That's why they call me the yoga soldier, okay? So let's just get settled into our seat. If you're driving, focus on your destination. Soften your gaze or allow your eyes to come to a gentle close. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose with healing, cleansing, positive intentions. Exhale, cleanse, detox, and release as the air exits the body and crosses the lips. Take another deep breath in. Scan your body during this inhale. Exhale, release anything from the mind, body, and spirit that is taking up space and serves no purpose. Slowly come back into awareness. Hello. Is it us you're looking for? So it's crazy, right? Because it's like the weather is transitioning. I know that like seasonal depression and matters of the mind do exist. Mm-hmm. People really pay attention to your emotional state, your mental state. Because 1 minute is cold, the next minute is 90 degrees outside. It's 90 something today. It's going to feel like it's 105. Yes. And tomorrow's going to be 77. Now, that don't affect your mood. You know what I'm saying? So please be
shout out the heart for fucking with the weather.
Oh.
Anywho.
I concur. But I just really am big on that, big on talking about self-care, just self-awareness of your emotions, your mental state. We are all, just transitioning in life. Yes, I feel absolutely. Like and dealing with different things. And we don't acknowledge how some life events really affect our mental state, even down to parents getting your kids ready to go to school. For a lot of us, that could be a really stressful transition, worrying about uniforms, and if you can't afford to get these uniforms, if your kids go to private schools or Catholic schools, coming up with that tuition. So this is the season, 'tis the season for more stress for most people. School starts, kids are going to college. That's another stressor. Some of us are dealing with transitioning parents who are aging, and that's definitely a stress. Just any life event really. For me, it's exciting stuff to look forward to, but having a senior for me is stressful. Right. I know I have her 18th birthday coming up, and prom coming up, and graduation, and in between that is still Christmas, and I'm big on the holidays. So, that kind of stuff can really, really, get a person down. Yes. So do what you can out here, people. Don't stress yourself trying to live above your means and, do things that, these kids might be expecting you to do. Because trust, I'm not getting no Lamborghini. Okay. I'm not getting no helicopter. Okay. I'm not getting no horse and carriage for your prom. Like, I'm not doing all like, no, we're not spending $1,000 on a dress. We're not doing that. This is one day, and we're not getting no red bottoms, and your feet gonna hurt anyway, and you're never gonna wear them again. Like, it's just not about that for me. Like, I'd rather my daughter be like, Mom, I want to start a business, and I want to take the money that I would have spent on prom and start a business. Right. And be frugal with your prime expectations. And
good morning, Wishbone.
Good morning, DJ Johnny Wishbone, always blessing us, always hitting us with the hottest mixes every morning from 8:30 to 9. Make sure y'all tune in to Glockaware. If you don't have the app downloaded by now, like, what are you doing? What are you listening to?
Like, even my granddaughter got that Glockaware app.
Like,
you better get it.
I don't understand. I really don't understand. If you haven't downloaded the Glockaware app, I don't know if y'all was looking at my Instagram yesterday, but shout out to EA. He posted this little middle finger turkey looking dancing looking thing. That's what you're gonna get. A little finger dancing turkey looking thing. Hey, big old feet, little butt. I said, look at this little butt. It was so cute and ugly at the same time.
And shout out to EA. He lost another one of his good friends last night. Rest in peace, Joe Bread.
Rest in peace, Joe Bread.
So
that is very
It's
sad.
been trying for him. You know, he just lost Izzy.
My condolences to you, big bro. He has definitely been going through it in the friend realm, losing some of his brothers. So it has to be tough. But listen, like that's the crazy thing, and this is what makes me look at life, you know, different. And I was talking to a friend of mine, shout out to Denzel, and
not Washington. We would have brought him on.
Right? You could have let me be great. Let people assume I know Denzel Washington. They might have been like, dang, she know you. Yeah. Let you think what you want to think.
My bad, I killed her.
Well, man, she just won't let me be great this morning. So listen, like as I'm getting older and I see the transition in the dynamic of my family, like all of my great aunts and uncles that were alive when I was young are gone. Mm-hmm. Now my mom and her siblings are the greats. And they're getting older. Right. And then I'm next. And I'm not ready. But it makes me value family more. The only thing with valuing family is it doesn't mean that I have to like you. Mm-hmm. Just because we're related. I can love you. I can love you. I can respect you. Mm-hmm. But we don't have to like each other, but I still value your space in my life as my family member. Right. And I wouldn't want to imagine a life without you in it. Like that to me life is so precious now. Especially with me, you know, and I talk about this openly, dementia has definitely is continuing to take its toll on my mom, and she's young. 69 is way too young to have to suffer from such an ugly disease or disorder or whatever this is that is attacking her brain. But again, that kind of stuff, like it just makes me value life more, connections, friendships, all that stuff. Like even the people that we see every day or people that we don't talk to every day. Maybe everyone out there in the universe, check on somebody that you haven't talked to in a while. Mm-hmm. You know, check on your friends, check on your family members. Just, you know, send a text. You don't have to call the person, but it does go a long way. Shout out to Lolo, my cousin. She literally sends me a text every morning, some type of GIF. And that means a lot. You know, she was like, well, if I'm overstepped, no, I appreciate it. Even some days when I might not respond, those encouraging words, you know, mean a lot, you know. So I'm saddened every time I hear that someone has lost someone that they care about. Is definitely death is all around us, and that's why it's important to live. We have to live.
And absolutely.
Live.
And one thing for sure. Hey, Ira.
Hello.
Sisters in the building. You come sit up here.
Bringing in the sunshine. Yes. Hey, sis.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
She coming here smelling like black sunshine and cocoa butter. Smell like sunshine and cocoa butter.
Yeah, so we're just talking about, like, you know, life and how precious life is, and you know, as we get older, you know, how, like, it's just crazy. Like, I'm definitely not ready to be looking like in my 60s and
but what does that look like?
It looks like me.
Because I don't know how. Right, I was about to say.
Almost in my 60s.
I don't know how old your mom is, but she's
69.
Okay, so that's fine. My mom is 72 and she outside.
My mom is 71 and my mom is definitely outside. Okay. My mom outside way more than me.
That's gonna be me.
My mom going on a yacht party with my sisters and them. They don't invite me to shit.
I can't wait to be a senior. The seniors be out.
Why don't my family invite me to shit? I know
they get all the discount. I mean, I guess so. Maybe I need to look at it from a different perspective.
I was at work last night. It's funny because the electric carts that people ride in the airport, like when you're handicapped and stuff, or when you need assistance at night, when it's time for us to go, because we done been on our feet all day, we like to get rides from the end of F terminal to the front door. So like the cart was full and I was going to clock out. So I was like, AJ, you coming back to get me? And he was like, yeah. So when I came out, he wasn't right at the door. He was in the hallway. They was like, come on, our eyes run. I said, yo, what part of half a century y'all don't comprehend?
Like, get up
I am 49 years old. They was like, we keep forgetting. Nigga. I told him to come back because we be looking good on Throb. Like, I'm not running to y'all.
Right.
Respect your elder and drive that motherfucker 22 feet to me.
That part. And that's the part they be forgetting. They be forgetting that we older and we look good. But the muscles and the ligaments and the tendons, they ain't tight like that no more. It's certain shit you just you know. I be listen.
So okay, I was about to say.
I be trying to it. You know.
So on Monday on the show, on our show,
Shout over a drink,
my brother B was like, "All right, start small, sis. Just no dairy, no bread. I'm gonna let you eat whatever you want.
That's my whole diet.
Listen. So yesterday I'm at work. I'm snacking. My brother said I can eat whatever I want. No dairy, no bread. The two young boys on the ramp started laughing. I'm like, what? They said, so M&M's ain't dairy? Like chocolate?
Oh. Remember, you can't eat shit.
I might as well cut out the sugar now. He told me to wait till next week to cut out sugar. I might as well just do it now. I was like, damn.
Oh, sugar is gonna be.
And then one of my passengers gave me a box of Rocher chocolates. I gave him to the electric car driver.
I don't know how I'm gonna do this because I like sugar stuff that tastes good.
Me too, but you know what? I'm not gonna compromise. I'm gonna compromise. I'm gonna do it just to lose the 20 pounds I feel like I need to get off my knees. Then after that, I'm going to go back to eating what I want, but I'm going to keep working out. I've been doing like these little, I downloaded this app on my phone. They got like 10, 15-minute exercises. So sometimes I can't commit to a whole 30 minutes. Right. So I do the 15-minute one and then I do another 15-minute. I done did 30 minutes of a workout, but it feels like I didn't. Rather than me push and play on 30 minutes and keep looking at the joint like, oh my God.
Watching the yoga girl, that's what I do.
Right.
I be watching that.
I'm trying to like, it's only, what's this Wednesday? So this only day 3. And I do feel like I feel better. And I was like, I hope that's also because today is the last fucking day of Mercury retrograde.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's why I've been
cloud
feeling
over
shitty.
Me. Girl.
Yeah, it was Mercury retrograde. I just told Nelly, I've been feeling terrible. And I feel like ever since I came back, like, that's just crazy. And ever since I came back from Atlanta, I ain't been myself. Like I can't get it together. First of all, I drove down. This is what a gram. Let me tell you what
you might as well dive into this whole journey because this was the trip from hell.
This was the trip from hell and back and then back to hell.
Oh shit!
No dairy, no bread 1 week. What about next week? I didn't eat this morning. I feel like that's how I feel, chick. I ain't eat this morning either. Now, and I ain't had my coffee.
I got granola bar.
Once I ain't get my coffee, it's I'm working on. I don't know how I'm doing this, but I'm gonna get it through. I'm gonna get through. Hey chef. So I took my grandson to Atlanta. Shout out to Hamed. My grandson is gone.
Right.
He's at the SAVE Institute. SAVE stands for Service, Agriculture, Vocation, and Entrepreneurship. My cousin Atiba Jones, who is a Philadelphia resident and a Morehouse graduate, him and his friends opened up the SAVE Institute about 5 years ago in Atlanta. And they just moved to a new 78-acre campus. Wow. They have, I love it. It's for boys, plumbing, carpentry, agriculture. Every student has to start their own LLC. Their monthly goals have to be met when they start their business. The family is like obligated to help them meet their monthly goals for whatever their businesses are. They let them create their own businesses. They have STEM. They got to get the eggs from the chickens in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So I love the idea of this. First of all, I love the land. The campus the land is so much. You can't even see. It's just so much land out there. And my grandson, he got out the car, left me. I'm like, before I know it, he got his shoes off. He running around in the wood. He ain't even wait. Like, he was so excited to be there. And so we got there a little late because we didn't get to Atlanta till 11 o'clock and school started. We got there the first day, but school started at 9. At 9. And we got there about after the dilemma with the rental car. That's a whole nother story. Anywho, I finally got them there about 2. And they don't have traditional classroom. They do circle, like group circle. They sit on the floor and they discuss whatever it is. And it is somewhat Islamic based. My cousin is Muslim, so they are not just only teaching them academics, they teaching them how to be men, like what you need to do for your family, what men should be. It's a whole culture. And I loved it. I love it because my cousin got it. Like, little boys can't sit in the classroom for 8 hours all day. And you expect them to be, not all of them, and you expect them to excel in their lives and do great in their lives, but you have them sitting in the classroom for 8 hours all day doing things that they're not even going to use when they get out of school. So now when they graduate out of high school, they don't have a clue. They don't know what they're going to do, a lot of them. Right. If you can't get into sports, or if you wasn't already a student that excelled, then you're one of those students that's in the middle where it's hit or miss what can happen to your life. And I feel like the Save Institute, the name itself, Save. Just the fact that it says save. And my cousin is a poet. My cousin is a very soft-spoken person. So my cousin, when he speaks, if you hear my cousin speak, he would sound like Martin Luther King Jr. to you, no lie. When he does his speeches, when he's talking to the parents, he speaks so eloquently, like he's speaking in a poem. And I was listening to something that he said, they asked me, why am I focused on young black boys? He said, can you believe they asked me why? And you know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't I? Right, you know what I'm saying? Be focused on young black men. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones that are out here getting left out of everything. So I'm going to just say this, and I know this is a very controversial subject, and I know people don't like to talk about politics. People don't like to feel like they are putting other people down or, you know, saying anything about other people. But let me just say something. Hey, Brian, B, when I was driving down to Atlanta, right, I took the bus, and you know, they had this whole thing where they were talking about Trump was saying black job. Of course, they cut off the whole speech. They didn't let you hear the whole speech. But anyway.
Hold up. You skipped the horrible trip part first.
That's the one I'm about to go to.
I thought you was going
the trip, the bus, right?
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to. That's what I'm about to say.
All of it.
So when I get to Union Station, because I had to transfer in D.C. When I got to the Union Station, first of all, there were no what they call us African American. I don't call myself African American, but anyway, there were no black people in that bus station employed at all. Not one from where I was standing. Not in McDonald's. Not in the trains. Not in the bus flagging the people over. Nowhere. They had African flaggers that couldn't understand a word you were saying. The bus drivers were little Asian men who didn't speak English. You try to ask them something, they're like, no. I don't mean no harm. I know that. I'm just saying. I don't care. Because that's how it sounded fuck to me. Girl. When you trying to ask somebody something and they can't tell you nothing,
that's a problem.
Why are they riding our buses and they can't talk to us? Yeah. They can't communicate with you.
How you gonna tell me?
And they brush you off.
Yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine.
I'm getting sick of these people that come from other places coming up in here and talking to us crazy, looking at us crazy, treating us any kind of way when y'all ride on the backs of us and our people.
Talk about it.
I don't play all that. It ain't got nothing to do with race. I love everybody. I love who love me. I fuck with who fuck with me. I don't care where you come from.
Right.
But when you come from somewhere else and you have the opportunity and the privilege to be able to come over here and get our reparation money on your freaking EPT cards and debit cards that they won't give us, don't look at us crazy, because I'm not one of those people that's going to be quiet. I'm going to be politically incorrect than a motherfucker. I don't believe in all that politically correct shit, because they do all kinds of crazy shit, and then you ain't supposed to say the way you feel. You politically incorrect. Well, I'm going to let you already know I am politically fucking correct. So don't think that I'm going to be all sweet with it when I talk, because I ain't. I'm tired of us pacifying other people's feelings. I'm tired of us having to pick up and take on other people's fucking problems. Well, I'm tired of it. You
know what she don't like?
I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of us not being able to say nothing. And I'm number one tired of black people always being the ones that stick up for other people and don't stick up for us.
Talk about it.
Y'all number one. Because as soon as something happening, jablip, jablam, jabam, y'all support this person. Support this motherfucker right here where we live at. Support that. Go out there and see when he says black jobs. You know he talk crazy. You know he don't know how to say it the way we would say it. But he's absolutely fucking right. I don't care what you think about it.
That's one thing I like about Trump.
He right. And to me, I'd rather see the snake. I'd rather see the snake coming right at me than the snake coming from behind me. Which one you want? You want to see the snake coming, or you want the snake to sneak up on you from the back?
Right.
And that's all. That's my thing with this, because it irritates me. And on some other stuff, I'm about to go get real controversial with people, and I don't care how nobody feels. They ain't gonna cut us off too. I ain't gonna cut nobody. I ain't gonna make sure we ain't gonna get cut off. But when it comes to these elections and our elected officials, I ain't got no. Listen, I ain't had no problem with Barack and all that. But to me, or Kamala, but to me, they not like us, and I'm gonna tell you why. They don't share the experience of the blacks in America because they don't have parents. Their parents were not black Americans. Obama's mother was a Caucasian American, and his father was from Nigeria. He does not have, as far as I'm concerned, he not like us. Same thing for Kamala. And as a matter of fact, her parents are Indian from India. Her father, it don't even look like a regular Jamaican. He look like one of those Indian Jamaicans. So it's just the thing for me when it comes to our plight. I feel as though if you didn't experience our plight and you don't understand exactly what our ancestors went through and where we coming from and why we asked for the things we asked for, then you're not the one for us. Because you really, to me, you just really can't relate.
I don't agree.
I see what you're saying. And I'm not gonna say I disagree.
One more thing before we end. The number one reason.
But I do hear what you say.
The number one reason is
I value her opinion.
Just look back at
our opinion. Is not the same opinion as those of
this is Khadijah's opinion. This is my opinion. This is my. It don't have nothing else to do with nobody else. This is my opinion. And like I said, look at the economy. All you gotta do is just look at the economy, because nobody not looking at the economy of black people. Look at it from the 60s to right now. How much of it belongs to us? Is this still 0.1%? Because how is it 0.1% when everybody else that's coming up in here, they got more wealth than us? How? And I ain't gonna keep on we keep on going back and forth with these things, and we always can't say nothing. That's why we ain't got shit. We root for people to take stuff away from us. And then we sit up there and be like, oh, ain't nothing happening. Because we root for people to take stuff away from us, and you ain't supposed to say nothing about it.
So let me ask you this. As far as the election that's coming up, right? And even though we don't really like either party, are you still going to vote?
With all that you said,
because I had to do it before. Like I keep feeling like I keep having to settle. Like I did vote for Biden and Kamala. I did vote for Obama.
Don't feel like your vote doesn't matter.
I feel like I feel like my vote doesn't matter, because if I just like with Obama, this is the number one thing. Because I liked Obama. I was rooting for him. I was in there with him. When they signed that anti-hate crime bill for the Asians, but we ain't get one. See, that's the stuff I'm like, how? To me, see, that's the whole thing. It always gotta be a whole thing, but not. But
there's a whole lot to unpack with that.
But the thing is, why? We've been here getting treated this way. Why is there a whole lot when they come to us, but as soon as they get in office, they can sign it for them?
Short answer to that is, as us 5%
they don't
say,
give a fuck about it.
He loves the devil because he gives him nothing. That's the short answer to that. There's a whole lot in that, meaning like black people in general have only really started getting political recently, and that's part of our problem.
But
and the whole weekend.
In the 60s, when we was marching, in the 70s.
No. There have always been black people in politics. I said black people in general. The regular common. You ain't never seen as many rappers that you ain't never heard of hanging with political candidates until these recent elections, because now it's at the point where it's been said for eons, the youth is the future. The youth is the answer. So they've always taken our culture, turned our culture into the weapon against us. They've always taken everything that we've made, and they're making it greater, has always become a weapon against us. So they took our culture, hip hop, which is the the fastest growing economy ever next to drugs. And they use our culture against us because now hip hop culture, which started out as the news of the people in the hood. Like literally people would be like, hey, what you got going on today? Like literally that's what it was. So that's why you had songs like The Message, which really talked about shit that was going on. That's why in our era, again, weaponizing against us, they had us calling it the backpack era, making us think it's uncool to learn. But we always had rappers that gave a message and taught us things. To fast forward, we always had female sexuality, female feminism, you know, in our rap. Always since the beginning, since they was making songs about us that way and us responding to them in that way that, yes, we can do it too. But we also always had females that respected themselves and talked about elevation of community. That just never went commercial. Again, weaponizing our culture against us. So now the number one culture is drill rap, sexy red, anybody that's trying to sell their pussy because they trying to tell you that's how you can get ahead, while at the same time trying to tell you if you keep making these babies, you're going to have to keep them because we're going to make it hard for you to have an abortion and you're going to have to raise these little retarded motherfuckers because you're going to have to because we're also cutting out education and the funding for that and we cutting all that shit off. So these are the things that the people in our culture who have money, they want to support the laws that help them when they have money. But I keep telling y'all niggas, y'all don't have that kind of fucking bread. It's not going to affect you in the way that you think it is. It's going to more likely negatively affect your family, your peers, and the rest of the niggas that you thought you left behind because you had a couple dollars.
Or get up off their behinds and go do something.
Yeah, they can try, but under these laws, it's deeper than just electing people because what they say they're going to do. The reality is you can't participate in an election every 4 years and think change is going to happen. If you don't participate in an election every 2 years to elect the local people, especially the Congress, which really tells the president what can and can't go, then it don't matter. And that's what happened in all the years leading up to the Trump era. We were so busy celebrating the Democratic victory that we didn't even see the Republican victories in the smaller elections. So now every smaller state, the red states have gotten redder. Pennsylvania purple as a motherfucker. I keep telling everybody, Pennsylvania literally is Pittsburgh in the west, Harrisburg in the middle, Philly in the fucking southeast, and Pennsylvania everywhere else. This state is so fucking purple that it's pretty much red. And to answer your question from Monday night when I said I didn't pay attention to Pennsylvania, I actually remembered I did. They played Motown Philly, then they played Black and Yellow, then they had the mayor of Altoona speak because Altoona, Pennsylvania has it's in the middle, but it also has the most NFL national, what is it?
Championship?
No, not champion. Athletes that are enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Most NFL Hall of Famers come from Altoona, Pennsylvania.
I can believe that.
Yes.
Okay.
So we talked about Pennsylvania, and they talked about Pennsylvania being a blue collar state. But with all that aside, Pennsylvania also always has been, and you can look up the stats. I haven't recently, but when I last did earlier this year, it still has the highest concentration of white nationalist groups, meaning this is where they come to train because ain't shit in the Poconos but the mountains and fucking fields. So with all that said, they have used our culture as a weapon against us. So now everything that we hate about ourselves is what makes us money. And that's what we are showing the rest of the world. The rest of the world is laughing at us. They is beating us in education. Like when I went to school, we had extracurricular activities. It was mandatory to take gym. I failed gym. It was fucking mandatory to take gym. My daughter told me she has phys ed like once a quarter. And then we wonder why our kids is fat.
But think about it. Think about it. When it comes to Philly, who let them take the stuff out of the schools in Philly? Not the Republicans. The freaking Democrat. See, this the kind of stuff because it get deep for me. Cause I can't say really too much about them because they wasn't the ones that been in control. They haven't been the ones that was in control. It's been the ones that we've been voting for, that we've been putting in. They've been in control. This is the thing.
I agree, but we let Trump in control, and now we're $3 more trillion in debt. My Social Security can't take it no more, and I want the hackers to stop fucking hacking into bullshit. Stop trying to order shit from Target. Give me an 850 credit score and make that fucking student loan shit say 0, and fuck them credit cards. That's what y'all need to do.
Yeah, for real.
That's how y'all shake up the system. Nothing's gonna happen until we fuck up the white man's money. You gotta fuck the money up.
That's it.
Period. And there's too many of us, and like you said, we can't speak. We can. They are afraid to speak. Why? He loves the devil because he gives them nothing. Motherfuckers is comfortable. I say it all the time. God bless America and no place else, because I've been other places. And while it's good, I don't know it the way I know this country. You know what I'm saying? I don't know it. If I get to go somewhere and I know it and know it to be better, then hell, shit, I might buy a one-way ticket and never come back, which a whole bunch of Americans have done more recently in the past 25 years.
They got to roll up off my
more Black Americans recently in the past 15 years. So like, it's a lot. Like, and I don't give a fuck who you vote for. I just want you to vote. Because everybody thinks it doesn't matter, but this is the thing, at the end of the day, it does.
I have like these logical things that goes back and forth in my head. Maybe I read too much New World Order. Maybe I read too much. No such thing as reading too much. Too much from Superman to Man. Maybe I read too much of these books. Because to me, coming from reading, having this background and this educated background in education and background in all these things when it comes to politics, because I study political science, coming from having that background, I guess it irritates me way more than it irritates some people, because I don't see no different. And y'all want to argue back and forth with me when I say, especially my family, they be like, you always, because y'all don't listen to nothing and y'all the brokest ones.
You have to remember, in that situation, you are among the 5%.
I don't care. I'm not. I'm the
You are among the 5%.
I'm probably among the 0.5%.
I mean, but like, there's a 5% in every situation. Like, literally, there's always a small percentage of people who know and understand what the fuck is really going on, and the rest of the people are deaf, dumb, and blind to it because they're comfortable. And once you shake up their comfortability, they don't know what to do.
It's just that if you're going to argue back and forth with me and I try to explain something to you, or I try to say, okay, if we do this, we need this, the situation needs to be this way, we should ask for this, and y'all don't want to ask for nothing, you just let anybody who come in and say they vote for them, y'all just say, y'all jump on a bandwagon, don't have no education about who this person is, where they came from, what they really voting on, what their everything. You don't know. And then we just go out there and then we vote willy-nilly, and then when they come in here and they don't do what we expect them to do, because I went on, did you see the thing? You saw that on my Facebook page, right? My Instagram. This is the thing for me. Know what's going on. Don't just be sitting up here just being Joe, and then when I say something, everybody like, oh, you just, I ain't say I didn't never tell nobody I was voting for Trump. That's the thing. The problem is I can't have a dialogue and a conversation about it if I say something that you feel like it's against Kamala.
And there's nothing wrong with question. You should be, if you're going to vote for her, you should definitely be questioning her.
This is the thing for me. I was listening to Ply. So Ply this is where I really made the video. I saw Ply say, I like Plies. Man, Plies is cool. Man's Plies is, I like Plies. But what I didn't understand was, this is one thing that he said that I really didn't understand. So he said, y'all didn't ask the white man to do it. Y'all saying this, y'all going to this, y'all. Why would we ask them? They not gonna fucking do it. See, that's the thing for me.
You would ask because they have always been the people in power. Why would you not?
But we've been. This is the thing. Why would you not? What I'm saying. This is no. The thing was, it wasn't that why you didn't ask the why. It was why should we expect different from her if they didn't.
That's where I'm at with it. Why should we? She's a politician.
All right, so then
I don't expect no different.
All right, so this is the.
And I want black people to stop asking for certain shit like reparations.
That's why I'm a vote.
My thing is reparations comes in many ways. First of all, my nigga, what you gonna do with 40 acres in the mule in 2025?
Right. I want my 40 acres in the mule. You see what my cousin did with 78 acres?
Right. I'm just saying. Fucking, what is Ray Ray from Uptown going to do with 40 acres and a mule?
He don't need 40 acres.
That's my point.
But you gonna get,
so reparations, at this point, none of us really need 40 acres and a mule.
What do immigrants coming from Mexico, these places,
we need what they have been getting.
$15,000 on debit cards.
No, I don't want fucking $15,000 either. Fuck no.
I want to start a business.
I want my debt to be the highest number it can be. I want my shit to say I don't owe Capital One. I don't owe fucking MasterCard, none of them, Barclays. I don't fucking owe fucking Citibank. I don't owe Amex. I don't owe, matter of fact, y'all niggas owe me.
Well, if they
like, I want all of that shit gone. How about this? I want a house and land because that gives me ownership and equity. And then you can talk about whatever pennies you want to put in my bank account because all this other shit that niggas is looking for is not what's going to get you ahead. That $1,200 ain't do shit. That's why y'all still begging for it now. I don't want the little shit. I want the bigger picture.
But my point when it comes to reparations is not no 40 acres in a mule. Give us equivalent now. The amount that 40 acres.
I don't know. How, my green thumbs is fucking black.
The amount. It's not even about the acres. It's about the amount. Give us the money. Give us the capital equivalent.
And that's the thing.
And it would be millions. It would be millions. It would be millions right now. It would be. They would have to give us.
And that's the thing. They're going to say they can't afford to.
But how can they afford to get foreigners debit cards and food stamps?
Because they can. They know the number of those people coming in. You know what? And I'm not sure how much you've been following, but there are states like thanks to Michigan and California who have been.
He said, "Y'all mouth got to be dry. Y'all going at it."
There are states like Michigan and California who are looking into doing some sort of reparations. And because of that, there are anti-reparation, Republican heavy-back groups that are saying, well, how are we going to decide who gets reparations?
Well,
how are we going to wait? Because of he knew what they were going to ask. How are we going to prove they're descendants of slaves? Mm-hmm. And then once you start proving that, my family. Once
we're
you start,
Native Americans.
Now, once you start saying that, now you're not entitled to it.
No, we're definitely we're more entitled because it's all ours.
No, then they're going to tell you they're going to tell you they have tribal unions set up. They're going to tell you to go find your people because they gave them their shit. Yeah. There are lots of pockets in this country that's not under American U.S. government because the tribal land said, this our shit. We keeping it. Black people can't even. Black people today can't even come together and do that because we can't even agree on where we come from. We can't even agree that if your family is a fucking Afro-Jamaican descent, you're black. As if they didn't have slaves in Jamaica.
Jamaicans don't want to be black. They don't.
That's not the Jamaicans I know.
Well, guess what? My grandfather's mother was Jamaican. Okay, she ain't like us. They thought they was better than us. They didn't fool with us. And a whole bunch of them people from the Caribbean, they all think they better than us.
Depends on where you're from.
But they don't know where we from.
But that's because, I mean, it depends on where you're from in the Caribbean because that is what they were taught by their colonizers.
But that's my
point.
Is
what, but we as Black Americans who ain't never, when I say ain't never been colonized, I mean like you was born within the past 50 years. It's a different type of colonization. We have that same shit with us. We got that same shit with us. And it has been ingrained into us since our colonization. The fucking house niggas always gonna think they better than the field niggas. You got people that still think light skin is better than dark skin. Oh
God, I'm so sick of it.
You still to this day, you can't tell. I can't literally it's crazy. My godson got 8 motherfucking kids and it's all cause he light skinned with curly hair. Cause the nigga ain't got shit else to offer a bitch but dick.
I understand that.
It's still ingrained in us. It is. So and we gotta stop blaming other people for that. We know,
but I'm not blaming other people for that.
There literally are more of us than them. And the way we keep having babies with them, there's always gonna be more of us than them. But the way we keep allowing them to keep separating us,
Because we keep voting for the wrong people.
It has nothing to do with that. It has with us keep separating. It has everything with us to keep separating. It has everything to do with us to keep separating within our own. Because again, all you got to do is come together. All you got to do is come together. But once we come together, we start arguing. The Qs and the Kappas, the AKAs and the Deltas, the light skins and the dark skins, the fucking New Yorkers and the Pennsylvanians. Oh, I'm sorry, the New Yorkers and the Philadelphians, because you ain't from Pennsylvania, nigga. You're from Philly. It ain't no place else like it. Yeah. We can't come together because every time we come together, we start tearing our own selves apart. And that ain't them. That literally is the fuck us.
We gotta hold ourselves accountable.
But we
literally have us telling each other, you ain't black.
But the thing is,
what the fuck you mean I'm not black? If I walk down the street, ain't nobody else that don't know what my background is, they're going to see me as black. I fuck people head up every day speaking Spanish on my job. I told a motherfucker I was Panamanian the other day.
And you could be.
And I could be. Like, I'm a Gemini. I can tell her, I can spin a tail, my nigga. I have motherfuckers thinking I'm Panamanian, Dominican. I'll be like, yeah, I'm Dominican by insertion.
Like, right. I don't know. All right, we just. I feel like we just so lost out here. And I feel like the subjects that we really need to be talking about, we don't talk about. We don't talk about them, and they really need to be talked about. Because why? Why are we in the same space? We should not be in these same space. How can other people come to this country and we still last when it comes to the economy? The Indians we're not last because we are the most consuming.
Yes, but the thing we spending all our money in the wrong places on the wrong shit.
I'm talking about spending.
That's what I said. We're spending all our money in the wrong places on the wrong shit.
But when it comes to how much,
and we don't invest. We only just started investing.
But we just started. But listen, so let me tell you something.
Spenders lose value.
I have my insurance license, right? So I am a licensed insurance agent. And there were laws against black people getting good insurance.
Yep.
And that's why black people always think that insurance is just for the funeral. No, it's not.
It's not.
It's
not. Borrow against your policy.
And the type of insurance that the company that I sold insurance for it was literally illegal to sell this kind of insurance to black people. Illegal. Wait, you couldn't, because it was very cheap and you could get a lot. And so they wouldn't sell it to black people. The guy who founded the company literally, like, the reason why he founded it, and he was a white guy, he was a Caucasian man. He founded this company because his parents had that same thought about insurance that our families had. You just needed it for burial, right? We pay for the insurance, we get buried, and he couldn't bury his mom. He didn't have enough money even after the insurance policy. He had to go in his pocket, and he didn't understand it. He couldn't understand why, and so he decided to sell insurance, go into the insurance business. And he started the company, and his company sold term insurance, okay? Term, to me, if you understand it, is way better than whole life. Because you couldn't pay for that all your life. They be like, you can pay for it. Yeah, but if you got a $10,000 policy and you live until you 100, you done spend way more than $10,000 on a policy. You're not supposed to keep paying for insurance the rest of your life. That's not what it's for. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to buy insurance while you're very young. Invest cheap and buy cheap insurance, which is term, and invest the rest of that money that you probably would have spent on a hefty whole life policy on a mutual fund, an IRA, or annuity, so that when you retire, because the Social Security is not enough, you will have some money that you actually can live off to balance that Social Security out. You're not supposed to pay for insurance for the rest of your life. Of course, insurance company's gonna get mad at me, but you don't. You don't.
It doesn't even.
Just think about it. My grandmother had a $5,000 insurance policy. I seen my grandmother pay that whole insurance policy my whole life. When my grandmother died, my mom and them still had to ante up money for insurance. I know they got over $5,000 in premiums. We have to smarten up. We have to listen. We have to pool our resources together. We have to put our own politicians in office. And then we won't be arguing about who is what and what is what. Choose who we want, because that's what they do. They choose and they pay.
Or we could be like our ancestors and just revolt, but niggas ain't about that.
I'm for that first.
You about it. I'm about
I know
it. But it's a whole bunch of niggas that's scared. They'll kill fucking Man.
Y'all kill
They'll pull a gun on Man, but they ain't ready to fucking revolt.
Y'all shoot little babies and old ladies.
They ain't ready for that fucking conversation.
Because I had a conversation with somebody the other day that said something about somebody getting them a gun, and I was so irritated about the situation because I said, "You want somebody to get you a gun? What you gonna use it for? You want the front line?" And they don't even know what the front line is. They looking at me crazy. What do you want the gun for? Is it for if something happened with us and you gonna be out there first, or is you gonna use it to go kill your brother, your neighbor, is that what? And they just walked off. Yeah, get the away from me. I'm not the one you want to come over here and talk dumb shit and say dumb shit and think it's funny. I don't think that shit's funny. So go talk that shit to somebody else, not to me, because we out here killing each other. We arguing back and forth over this, that, and the third. We don't have shit. And it's getting worse.
Arguing over blocks you don't own. Arguing over fucking housing projects. Like, how ghetto is that?
Oh my God. And if I go, I ain't even gonna go into HUD when I found out about HUD. Oh my God.
Yeah, we definitely gotta say that for another time.
Yes.
Let's not keep it grim.
Well, yes. It's not grim. It's actually good, but you just don't know it. You don't see it as good because you don't know the system. But it's not grim, actually. It's really not a grim situation.
I want to talk about real quick what I don't like is City of Philadelphia. Come on, y'all have got to do better. Like, it's so obvious that y'all have to start putting some money into these schools. Like, it's ridiculous that school started and they already are having half a days because there's no air in some of these buildings.
But that's because that's the 63 schools that have been around since my mom was in school.
And
why would y'all keep doing
this? You ain't gotta worry about it because they all about to be condos. They about to be condos.
That's why they're not
fixing it. Y'all know that these buildings are old. You know that the infrastructure needs to be replaced. Some of these buildings, have y'all really gotten rid of the asbestos in some of these? Like, it's ridiculous. I just be so frustrated with the city. And it's crazy because I love my city. Don't get it twisted. But there's so much that they're dropping the ball on, and it's so obvious. It's so blatantly obvious, especially when you live in a gentrified area where you see these people moving into neighborhoods where most of these people's kids have to go to the local neighborhood schools, but these gentrified people, they bought this house and they live in our neighborhood, and their kids don't go to our neighborhood school, so they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because if y'all increase the taxes in most places that I've lived, most of the taxes that you pay are in school taxes. Mm-hmm. I know when I was out in Delaware County, my taxes was high as shit, and most of that went.
Delco got good schools.
Williamsport too.
And like, I don't understand it. So if I'm living in a neighborhood that's being gentrified, my taxes are going up because all these people are moving in.
Because the gentrifiers get a 10-year tax abatement. That only just ended. But if you signed your contract however many years ago, but are just breaking ground, that abatement stands. These motherfuckers ain't gonna be paying taxes till like 2040.
And they don't got no kids.
By the time they do pay taxes, their kids are probably
have no kids,
I posted the funniest video I saw about these condos, and it was somebody made a video. It's called "Dorm Room for Adults." It's like dorm room for adults, and they talk about how like they're like, come bring a dog and move in and meet everybody by the pool and by the barbecue grills that nobody uses. They were like, then you have a baby, then you get scared and move to the suburbs, because essentially when you buy a condo in these big old factories, because that's how it starts, it's like, we used to make things in this country and there's like the building with the thing in the front of the thing we used to make, and it's like, but by the time you do that and start having kids, you realize you legit live in College Squared and you can't raise a kid in the fucking piazza.
Nope.
You can't raise a kid in the piazza. Not when 2nd Street is the fucking strip.
It's like, how did we? The thing is, like, how did we get here? Like, and that's the thing for me when it go back to the election. Every single person that we had in Philly been a Democrat. So gentrification.
Rizzo wasn't a Democrat,
but that was in 69, 70. I'm talking about now. Since I was able to vote, it ain't been no Republican mayor.
No, it hasn't been, but there have been things that
I
actually
like was John
changed.
Street.
I was about to say there have been things that changed for the better.
We need
and
John
I know one
Street
thing. I don't know if every mayor takes care of their own neighborhood, but John Street took care of North Philadelphia.
John Street. John Street took
Can't
care.
say nothing bad about John Street.
He really took care of more than North Philadelphia.
He did. He took care of the entire city.
I really fucked with John Street, and he really like made sure we had them Union Jacks.
She said he take care of shit.
No, I said he didn't take no shit.
Oh yeah, him or Milton.
And I
wasn't fucking with him.
And Milton, me and Milton, shout out to Milton because our birthday the same day.
Wasn't fucking with him.
They wasn't gonna let Milton be the mayor. They took the lesser of two evils with John, cause Milton ain't give up. He was like, "Me, I ain't getting you motherfuckers ain't getting nothing around here."
Hold on,
and
did y'all see that video of like a bunch of kids fighting? Looked like school had just started, and they like kicked the sergeant. I ain't see this video.
No.
That video,
I
hate when people post it. That video is 4 years old.
That's what it's.
That video is 4 years old.
And he walked away. He was pissed
4 years
off.
old.
I'm like, why?
That video is so old. Why did they even research? I don't like when people.
It looked like it was just
that video is 4
everything
years
you put
old.
in the internet exists in perpetuity.
That video was out
40 years from now. Somebody gonna be like, "Look what just happened."
Right. That was when that lady was the police commissioner. That was at Dobbins about 3 or 4 years ago. That was not recent.
The news,
and they shouldn't even put that. Somebody posted that on social media. They didn't put that on the news. It was social media, and that was
that was social media. But I'm about to.
That
I was about
ago.
to segue in this. Like just watching the news though is so crazy. Like, so there's 2 young kids, I guess, that's doing like robberies.
In
the
city.
One of them is like one of them look like they like 11 years of the carjacking.
And that's why Hamed's in Atlanta.
This is what I'm saying. Like that little boy, you look on the camera, you see this little baby's face. First of all, I know somebody that I had to identify y'all by name.
He looked like he was about Hamed's side.
He looked
shaved
scared.
And everything.
He looked scared, but he looked like he ain't had no choice but to do what somebody tell him to do. Because the person that's with him, I think, is like 16 or 17. But
yeah, but that's the thing. You get kids to do it because then they go to juvie and then they out and they still got their life to live.
Because they ain't teaching them nothing. They need to find something for these kids to do.
It's nothing for them to do. The rec centers is closed. Nothing is closed. All the skating rings that used to be in the local areas
all the rec centers are closed.
Well, not all of them, but the ones
they're not open. But majority
that need them
but
are
closed.
Not
open for them. See, when I was young, we could just go to the rec center. I lived in Wilson Park Project.
We
had the recreation center at Wilson Park. It was open it was open for us to go into it. These places is there, but the kids just can't.
I'm about to say, and what some people don't know is they are community centers, so you can go. So shout out to my brother K. Ruala. He is the director of the rec center over at Sixth and Master, where the swimming pool is. And I know Rodriguez or Cruz Recreation Center, Sixth and Master.
Somebody Brown, RJ Brown.
The RW Brown is at 8th and Cecil B. Moore. Okay. But this is at Sixth and Master, City of Philadelphia, Cruz Recreation Center. And I know he's the director there. And the community is able to come utilize the center and bring programs. So his mom used to teach a fitness class there because that's something she was into as an older woman. Speaking of how you're going to look in your 60s, she don't look, me and her could be the same age if we went out. So, like, a lot of people in the community don't have the program because they don't have the people there to do anything. So they have the funds. And if you go to the city's website, if you go to the, like, looking for municipal jobs, at one point they were hiring for people who worked in the rec center. Because I thought about applying, considering, I'm like, I got a master's in sports management. That qualifies for running a rec center.
Right.
Do I really want to do that? Do I want to work for the city again? Yeah, I want a sweet ass job that I got holidays off and shit like that. But like, the shit is there. Funding is also there. If you have an idea and you want to bring it, an after school program, people aren't also utilizing their own community centers, and the city is using that as an excuse to cut out the funding and shift.
That's because they don't tell people that
elsewhere.
They don't promote
like
that
in my neighborhood, because our recreation center, the Northern Liberties Recreation Center, has a boxing gym. Is one of the few in the city. It's always been utilized for all different things, and the people in the neighborhood utilize it. They even started their own private center, the Northern Liberties Community and Arts Center, because they always want some place for their kids to have, and we're always gonna make it hard for them to shift the funding and get rid of our community rec center because, like, the kids from Richard Allen use that center, and like our neighborhood, like as much as they want to put up boundaries and be like, that's not Northern Liberties, that's East Poplar or whatever, like, nah, as a community of us, we kind of like, that's where we've been, and that's where we're going to stay.
Whole area.
Yeah.
Again, just examples of when we can't come together and people still try to tear us apart.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
That's why I'm going in the woods.
Oh, not in the woods.
I'm not ready for the woods yet because I don't like bears and bugs, but
that's all right.
I do know how to survive. I did do a turn in Girl Scouts. I do like to go camping. I'm
living amongst the monsters right now.
Temporary.
I'm definitely living amongst the monsters.
Living amongst the monsters right now.
I want to take a little break.
Let's take a little break. We'll be back. This has been a great discussion. I'm so glad I came.
I told you.
Because sometimes I just gotta get.
I like to bring out the intellectual side of myself. You know,
politics makes me shut down because I feel like that's one of those conversations where most times people don't see eye to eye, they don't agree, or they.
I remember.
You should.
Let me tell you something. A guy, someone that I work for, and I think his name was Richard. I can't remember. Love this guy. He was one of my supervisors, and he was saying, we were talking about politics and something, and somebody at the job said, that's why people shouldn't talk about politics and religion. He said that's exactly why people should talk about politics and religion. He said the things they tell you not to talk about is the things that's messed up.
Yep.
That's why you should be talking about. They tell you don't talk about it because you might uncover some stuff. You understand what I'm saying?
Figure out how to fix it.
And that's why they tell you don't talk about it. Not that it don't need to be talked about. They don't want you to talk about it. Because you might figure some shit out.
I've learned that some people you just can't have conversations with.
That part.
That's true too.
So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, we can have that conversation.
I learned
to lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink.
I learned to have those
we don't try to force our opinions on people. We just say this is our opinion.
Because that was me. I ain't going to lie. I was the enforcer.
You guys don't know what you're talking about.
But the reason why I was so passionate, because I wanted to do it
us with some music. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Y'all go grab a snack and come on back.
I think that's most.
I want bread.